a new Stryper reissue vinyl, as well as some unexpected record store closing sale vinyl. All coming up next. Hey, Jeff here. So I was gonna be doing some other videos this week, but then I kind of stumbled upon some stuff that I thought, well, I need to go ahead and do a recent finds, recent purchase video. First off, though, in the mail today, and this was one of the fastest shippings I've ever dealt with. Of course, the place is only one state away from me. On Tuesday, the people over at Stryper.com posted this new Stryper vinyl that was just reissued, and I'm not a reissue of something on vinyl, and so I ordered it Tuesday morning, and it showed up today, 2 days later. So anyway, Stryper, the Roxx Regime demos. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of Stryper's past, before they changed their name to Stryper, they were called Roxx Regime. They had a demo, which basically was the songs from what became the first EP from Stryper. They were just slightly different, of course, as demos are. Some had some different words and stuff. There was one song that was totally different that later reappeared on an album, but it was a totally different type song, just same title. This had been reissued on CD back in 2007. I had to look that up because I'm like, there's no way. I feel like I just got that not too long ago. There's no way that was almost 12 years ago, but lo and behold, it has been 12 years. 2007, they released the Roxx Regime demos on CD. And so that was the first time that was released, and now they've released it for a limited amount of vinyls. A vinyl here, and every vinyl, no two vinyls are the same color. The cover's pretty, nothing big there. I mean, it's typical. There's no pictures or anything, no inserts or anything inside. Could have been nicer if they'd have packaged it up real nice and had some pictures from the days, but there's nothing. And then the vinyl that I have is kind of an orange marble. Very, very pretty. Sounds good. I just listened to it. I noticed on Facebook a lot of people got theirs today, and they were surprised at how fast they got them. I forget how many there were of these. In the hundreds or maybe 1,000. Maybe there's 1,000. Anyway, Stryper.com, $20 plus shipping. You really can't beat it. And it's nice to have a vinyl issue of this demo. Anyway, so then, now if you had seen my previous video, I think it was the last one I did. I talked about a record store that I went to here locally. The local FYE in the one shopping center was going out of business. So the records, the vinyl that they had, they were 50% off. So I went in and I bought the three Metallicas and the Riot. I showed that in the previous video. So then I went back on Saturday, which was about a week later, and everything was 60% off. So I grabbed some new vinyl. I grabbed the 30th anniversary edition 1987 by Whitesnake. Anyway, I've been wanting to get that. I need some more Whitesnake vinyl, so I grabbed that. And then I grabbed this new band. I had downloaded this and listened to it. If you're not familiar with a band called Dream Child. Essentially, it is made up of a bunch of members from bands like AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne, and Dio. So it's got, it's like a super type group. Sounds very good. Like I said, I'd been listening to it for a couple months, so when I saw the vinyl, I thought, well, yeah, I'll get that. It's on a very, very nice translucent type orange. It's got a very Dio-esque type feel. The singer at times reminds me of Dio in a sense. I mean, if you want to compare it. It's a very good, solid album. I really enjoyed it. So again, 60% off, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and grab that on vinyl. And then here's an album. I had listened to these guys only because I thought the image was kind of cool, as far as I like bands that have image, bands that do something different. And I had downloaded some of these tracks by these guys. They've been around for a while. I'd never really heard them, saw some videos, checked them out a handful of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and then kind of moved on. This particular album, this vinyl has been at that FYE for as long as I've been looking at vinyl. It's an import, and it was a really good price, and I always thought one day maybe I'd buy it. Well, when you take an already decent price and mark it down 60%, I'm like, I got to grab it. And that's the band Lordi. Now, they're a Finnish band from, they're a Finland band. I guess you would call them kind of like a modern type metal. They're not really, really, really heavy, which is what I like. It, you know, it's a good metal type sound. They've got the makeup and the masks. I mean, you know, they're like Gwar, but the costumes are a little more elaborate. Anyway, it is a double vinyl release, and it was, I think it was listed at like $24. And like I said, it's I guess it's an import. So $24, 60% off. It was a good price. I couldn't pass it up. Really nice packaging. This is their 2006 release, so it's been out for a while. They've got quite a few albums. Now I checked out their newest album, Sexorcism, and it's a lot more raunchy than they were back then. Here this was all about, like, you know, they did stuff. This is called a Rockalypse. So, and you know, and it's about end of world type stuff and zombies and just fun. It seems like it's, you know, more of a fun band. But the new album, I checked out some of it, and it's a little more risque, perverse. Comes on a opaque type clear colorless vinyl, I guess would be a good idea to say. Anyway, I listened to it and I enjoyed it. The thing is, I thought about, well, maybe I'll buy this and resell it. Maybe somebody really likes it, but I'm not going to, because I didn't realize until I looked at the liner notes that there's a narration part on here that's got Dee Snider. Bruce Kulick plays guitar on some tracks. J.J. French from Twisted Sister plays guitar on a couple tracks. So they've got some guests throughout it. It comes really nice. The sleeves themselves are like thick cardboard with lyrics and stuff on them. You know, and then the vinyl is really nice. And I gave it a spin, and I thought, this is a good album. I like this. I'm going to keep that. Okay, so now moving on from that. A day or two later, I went to a thrift store. This next section is just a little bit of thrift store finds. Nothing major here, but I did acquire a Step Up. I got Amy Grant in concert. Now this is an old live album from '81. This is an upgrade because I already got this at Goodwill last year. This was still in the shrink wrap. Shrink wrap's torn here a little bit, and the vinyl was in really good condition. So I went ahead and grabbed it. You know, it's $1. So now I have an extra copy of this, which is in not as good a shape as this. So I'll probably be passing that on. Find somebody who would appreciate that. That's early Amy Grant. I'm sort of kind of a fan, but you know, it is what it is. Then I found POD. This is the special edition, digitally enhanced version of their Brown album, which I believe is their second album. I had to call home real quick because I already have the album, but I had to call him because I'm like, I don't think I have this special edition with the digital information. So I called home and asked my dad to go pull the POD off the shelf, and sure enough, it's here. Now, I don't know. They're both supposedly remastered, so neither one is the original release. The original release had a slightly different cover. But when I looked them up, one of them was released like 2 or 3 years before the other. This one came out a couple years before this one. But from what I understand, they're both the same remaster edition. So anyway, I'll probably keep this one and send this on to a new home at some point with somebody. Then I saw this. Now this is going to be, maybe this will strike some people odd as not being in my taste. Sean Slaughter, Die Another Day. Sean Slaughter is a rap artist. Now, he's a local rap artist. I know this guy. He is from next town over, about 30 minutes from here. Now, why did I buy this? Okay, I bought this not only because I kind of know him and I, like I say, know who he is. I have this album. This is his 2007 or 8 release, Man on Fire. And as you can see right there, if you can see it, to Jeff, thanks for the drums, Sean. Now the reason he says that, and I don't know if you can see this because it's going to be kind of dark, but right here, track 5 is a song called Run. I don't know if this is going to focus or not. And it says Run featuring Hemo Theory. So what it is Hemo Theory is my old band, and we collaborated with Sean because my band Hemo Theory started off in 2002 as kind of, rap rock, kind of the Linkin Park, kind of rock with some spoken word, occasional rap. So later on, 2007, we had started changing styles, but, we contacted Sean and said, hey, let's do collaboration, kind of a full-on rap rock song. So we did Run. It appeared on his album, and it appeared on our band's album, which I don't have a calculator on. You can find it on YouTube if you really want to check it out. I thought it was a fun song. We had a fun time. We actually recorded it once for a single, just kind of in his studio, and then a year or two later went into a real studio and recorded it and released it on his and our album. So I figured, hey, I'll grab some more Sean Slaughter. In that box of CDs that I had that I was giving away from my friend who passed away, he also had one of the earlier Sean Slaughter albums, so now I have 3. Hadn't seen Sean in quite a few years, but it was kind of neat to get that. All right, so then went back to that record store today, just tonight. So we swung by there, and sure enough, they were now 70% off. So the first time I went, they were 40. The second time I went, they were 50, which was Saturday. And here we are Thursday, and they're 70% off. So I went in, and they were getting kind of cleared out. There was a couple that I wanted that were missing. I was hoping to pick up the Fuel album by Metallica. I didn't buy that Saturday when it was 50%. And there was some other things. I was going to get Mudcrutch's second album. It was gone. They had 2 Kiss albums. One of them were gone. So anyway, but I grabbed a bunch of stuff. Now, I will say I've appreciated music for a long time, but this is my very first purchase of a Beatles vinyl. So here, look, I got that. Haha, please me. Early Beatles. Shrink wrap was a little ripped, but hey, at 70% off, I think I paid like $7 for this brand new remastered edition. My first Beatles on vinyl. I also grabbed Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid. I love the Alice Cooper 80s stuff, and I love all the stuff. They had a bunch of a 70s stuff too that had been reissued, and those would have been $6-7. A lot of those were gone. When I went Saturday, they had quite a few. When I went back, they had I think I saw 1 or 2. But I grabbed this one because this is 80s stuff that I really like. As you can see, they had it for $34, so I ended up paying $7 or $8. Great album. It's I haven't even opened it yet. It is a gatefold, so can't wait to check that out. I just got home, so I figured I'd do this video real quick. So I haven't even opened these yet. Grab me a copy of Armored Saint. Win hands down. As you can see, they're retailing it for $44. So what's that? Make it like $11, $12. So I figured, couldn't pass up on that. Love me some Armored Saint, and they had that. I was surprised that wasn't gone because some of the newer stuff that I'd wanted was gone. Was able to get a copy of For All Kings, the Anthrax. Shrink wrap's a little torn there, but this one was only $29, so I got this one for a real good steal. For those who have it, it's a gatefold and everything, double album. So love this. Been listening to that since it came out. Scorpions Return to Forever, my second Scorpions vinyl that I now own. It's a double vinyl, and had to have it. So grab me some more Scorpions. Like I said, they had 2 Kiss albums there, and 1 was gone. So I grabbed this one, Hot in the Shade. Thought I saw something on there. I guess not. Again, I passed up on this one on Saturday and the other one because I couldn't believe this is one of the ones I talked about. $44 for a single Kiss album. They had this one and they had Asylum. And I took it to the counter. I said, that can't be right. You've had that price on this album for at least 3 years. I've been watching it in the same store. Nobody sells a single Kiss album for $44. Can you please check the price and ring it up? She rang it up. It's still rung up at 50% off. I'm like, $22 is the retail price. You can get almost anywhere on Amazon and stuff. So I passed. So I went back tonight and got it for 70% off. So now that made it at least, more reasonable. I wish I had gotten Asylum too, but anyway, 1 Kiss is better than no Kiss. And these next 2 I picked up. These were honestly, I've heard of the band. Back in the day, I never listened to the band. They're obviously the kind of music that I'm sure I like. I know that they're very popular. People really like them. So I figured I would check them out. I think I probably might have listened to a song here or there, but never really did. But I grabbed 2 Faster Pussycat albums. Both of them, I guess, were record store Rocktober days. You know, at $24, 70% off, I couldn't pass up, you know, like a $7 album. So I grabbed both of these. But anyway, again, the price was right. Couldn't pass them up. They had a couple copies of each. I figured I'd grab it. And then this one, I got Doc in tooth and nail. I mean, look at this. $34, and actually it wasn't $34, it was $39. They had one for $39 and one for $34. I grabbed the $34. It still rang up as $39. 70% off, still put it at a good price. But there's no way. Come on, $39. Give me a break. And it's a gatefold. I can't remember back in the day. Maybe it was. Was back in the day this a gatefold? I don't recall. I mean, I had it back in the day. I had all the docking. So, this is my first docking on vinyl now. Back in the day, I had them all. Now I got them all on CD, so I'm looking forward to having that, cracking into that. Anyway, so that was it. That's long enough. So it was quite a score. Came home tonight, spent more than I really needed, spent more than I meant to spend, but at 70% off, it was kind of like grab. They have, it says on the window, 9 days to go. So they got 9 days before they are totally closed. I may try to pop back in there within those 9 days. I can't imagine they're taking the vinyl down any further, but hey, who knows? They make it down to 80 or 90%. There's a handful of things that I could have bought. Like they had the new Hailstorm album. You know, I wouldn't mind grabbing that. I've been listening to that. They had that. That was like $24. I think that was. It's just I just knew I had went way over. But there were probably a handful of records there that I was like, well, you know, I wouldn't mind having those, but I had already got too much. So if I went back and they were marked down even further, you know, I might grab a couple. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to share. Lots of fun stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back. Rock on.